Like I said, you have International Airstrike that could be making a comeback if they decide to put Gabriel with Tyson again when he comes back, and obviously they probably will. You know, heck, believe it or not, if you want to look at it in some ways, you got Kali and Hornswoggle. Believe it or not, you got 3MB. Any combination of those guys. You know? Heck, there's rumors going around that Zack Ryder may get paired up with Fandango in the future. You know, you got tag teams down in NXT that have yet to be called up. I mean, Corey Graves and Adrian Neville, or Oliver Gray and Adrian Neville, they could get called up. You could pair Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara back up as a team. Or heck, even put Sin Cara with Justin Gabriel. I mean, I'm just saying, the tag team division, because of those kind of things, are in better shape. And true, people might say, well, the only reason certain tag teams came about is because they had nothing else to do with the people. Well, no, duh. They had nothing else to do with them, but they realized, hey, we don't want to lose these people, have them potentially go down to, let's say, TNA, get a bigger push there, become eventually maybe the world champion or tag team champions, and then down the line probably come back and say, hey, look, you know, we did it down there, you got to give us a push. No, they don't want to suffer that. Paul knows that. So what are they doing? They're saying, hey, let's put you in a tag team, and that'll give you something to do. And that's why the tag team division's in tremendous shape right now. I mean, heck, with the potential possibility of Big Show and Mark Henry as a tag team, what more do you have to say? And again, like I said, you got teams in NXT that have yet to be called up. And they're going to add more depth. I mean, again, the tag team division couldn't be in better hands now. And think about it this way. You could have, what is it? You could have Boom Truth, R-Truth, and Kofi reunited as a tag team. Or heck, you can have the tag team that actually helped revitalize the tag team division again. And I'm not talking Team Hell No, which they could probably do down the line if they felt like it. I'm talking about Air Boom, Kofi and Evan. When Evan comes back, think about that. I mean, there's rumors they want to pair Evan with Sin Cara if they don't get him back with Kofi. The fact is, the state of the tag team division in WWE couldn't be better right now. And you have great tag team champions in Shield members Rollins and Reigns for all these teams to chase after and go after in the future. I mean, think about it. If the possibility of pairing Henry and Show together as a tag team, not just for SummerSlam, but later down the line to probably challenge Rollins and Reigns for the titles, what more can you ask for? I mean, look. Speaking of Big Show, let's take a look at him for example. He's been a multiple-time tag team champion in this company. And why? Because they needed something for him to do. And they always found something for him to do from a storyline perspective. His first tag team goal here in the WWE came from what? The Undertaker. Came from him teaming with that guy. Teaming with The Undertaker. And then you can talk about all the other partners he's had. He's teamed with Kane. They've been tag team champions. Very dominant ones at that. Let's see. Chris Jericho, The Miz. He's been tag team champions with those guys. And again, the list is endless. If you don't have anything to do for Mark Henry, if you don't have anything to do for the Big Show, you know what to do. You team them up as a tag team. I mean, look what they're doing at times with Randy Orton and Sheamus. Sheamus obviously right now is healing from an injury, from his bruised thigh and all that. But take a look at Sheamus and Randy earlier this year, and even if they still continued, and even if they still continuously wanted to continue it, excuse my wording there. Even if they wanted to still continuously continue it, take a look at that. They even had a team name already set up for them, the Celtic Vipers. And they actually proved to be a great tag team. It would have made more sense if you put them against the Shield at Payback instead of Orton and Daniel, but what are you going to do? And heck, even Orton and Daniel had a team name, even for one name, and they were called Team Arcano. I mean, think about it. The tag team division's in very good hands. And like I said, you got teams down in NXT that are going to get brought up eventually. You know. So to me, the state of the tag team division couldn't be better in the WWE. And that's, again, and this is not because I'm a fan of his, it's because it's fact and truth. Paul Levesque, Triple H, made sure it happened. Now, what about the Divas division? What about the state they're in? Well, they're in better shape than they've ever been. That's the obvious truth. I mean, heck, they got a damn show dedicated to them on E! But how good is the state of the Divas division? Well, like I said, it's in better shape. Yes, I understand a lot of people are not happy at the fact that the division is constantly focused around AJ and Caitlyn. Well, you know what? They changed that, didn't they? They changed that this past Friday. And how? By turning Layla heel. Basically turning her back into Lay Cool Layla. That's what they did. And why did they do that? Well, whether you like it or not, they're going to give her the Divas title in the future. That's why. That is why they're doing it. To give her the Divas Championship. You think they're going to keep it on AJ very long? No. And here's why. And here's why it's in better shape and it's going to get better. Here's why. Layla, let's face it, storyline-wise, is only, we all pretty much can see what's going to happen. She's going to turn on AJ like she did Caitlyn, all because of the Divas title. Layla's going to become champion, and that, down the line, is going to lead to an AJ face turn. And why? Well, it's totally up to what they do. They can have Layla align herself with Big E and say, hey, her and Big E were in on it the whole time just to get the Divas title away from AJ. Could work. But we'll have to wait and see, but I think that's the reason they did what they did with Layla. So they can take the belt off AJ, put it on her. Now, what about Caitlyn? Well, Caitlyn obviously has strong support from Vince McMahon, obviously has strong support from Triple H. That's the one thing they have in common, in agreement, either on screen or not. On and off screen, they have that in common. So don't worry, she's going to be Divas champion again. You know, she'll get the belt back eventually. But the division is in better shape. Because yes, it is being focused on with Total Divas. And the Divas are getting more matches that don't just focus on the title. That don't just have to involve the Divas champion. I mean, a great example was last week. You had what, Nikki Bella, I think, or Brie Bella against Natalya. So, you know, there you go. There you go. And you got Naomi and Cameron, or whatever they're calling themselves now, Trinity or whatever. You got them being focused on soon. I mean, the future is going to get better. I mean, the Divas division is going to get better. Because again, just like the tag team division, they've got a good roster of divas that they can do a lot with once they put focus on. And they got two new divas that obviously behind the scenes are being trained by Sarah Del Rey, who a lot of people would hope would be asked to be on the be called to the main roster and compete, which I think would be great. She's one of the best female wrestlers out there. You know, you have them being trained by her, and that's Eva Marie and JoJo, and obviously you can tell they got big plans for Eva Marie, probably a Divas title run as well. So they got things going, they got things in motion, they got things planned out for these divas already, even the newcomers. And then let's not forget new additions as well, like Summer Rae. Summer Rae, who had an impact in NXT and somewhat still does. She's going to be a major player in the Divas division. Do not deny that. They wouldn't have paired her with Fandango and put her on television as much as they have if that wasn't the case. And then take a look at who they could be bringing up within the next few months. The new women's champion down in NXT, Paige, the anti-diva. Think of it this way. They're constantly wanting to bring somebody in that's going to be more of a, I'm not a diva, I'm a women's wrestler, and I'm going to bring women's wrestling back to WWE. Think about that. What a better foil for someone like, let's say, Layla, for someone like, say, the Bellas. What better foil than Paige? And then take a look, you got someone like Emma, who apparently is a fan favorite down in NXT. She'll be called up soon. And who knows what they might do with her. And what about Alicia Fox? She's in NXT, obviously getting more seasoning and basically going back and forth. There's stuff they can do with her as well. The point is, the Divas division is in good shape, and they're constantly signing in new divas, new women's wrestlers from around the world. Whether they're bringing them in and training them on the spot, then letting them compete and train them some more. Now that they got this new performance center, it allows them to do that. Or they're just signing some of the best indie talent there is from around the world. The division's going to get better and better as time goes on. I mean, look, there's no doubt that eventually down the line, whether she sticks with it, unlike Vicky's daughter, whether she sticks with it or not, and I think she will, Charlotte, Ric Flair's daughter, she's in NXT. She's going to get called up eventually, very soon, as a favor to Ric Flair. You know that. She's going to get called up. You know, basically, I know people will say, well, what happened with Flair may hurt her. No, it's not going to hurt her. The more she gets better, the more she's going to end up getting more opportunities, and eventually she's going to get called up as well. That's the flat-out truth. That, my friends, is the flat-out truth. People like her will get called up. Paige will be called up before the year's out. I guarantee it. Emma will. You know, all these other divas that are debuting, that are coming in, that were in the women's tournament to crown an NXT Women's Champion, they will all be coming to the WWE Divas division. So the Divas division is in good hands. It's in better shape than it ever has been in its history. Yeah, there was a time where it was like, oh, this is our Divas champion, and these are, oh. You know, I get that. I mean, heck, I've recorded WrestleMania for years. For the past, for the past 5 years now, since I've been in California. 5 years I've recorded WrestleMania. And I have seen multiple Diva matches on that card. The biggest one I saw so far, besides the 25 Diva Tag Team match, the biggest one besides that was, I think it was what, 10 Diva tag match? You had 10 divas, except for Vicky Guerrero, because she's not really much of a wrestler, but you had 9 out of 10 divas that could go in that ring. In the Divas division, and people were still complaining about it. But it was in good shape then. It was in fair shape, but yeah, I admit most of the divas weren't being focused on. But again, that's being worked on. That's being taken care of, not just thanks to Triple H, but mostly thanks to Stephanie and anybody, and I think whoever else is in charge down in NXT and in the WWE, in the backstage area. They're saying, look, these women are good. Let's feature them more. I mean, yes, AJ, a lot of people will say, well, AJ will AJ is basically, you know, I will admit, probably is one of the main reasons everybody's invested in the Divas division now, because they have a champion they can be like, hey, I can get behind this girl. But you see, that's the problem, though. They want to get behind her, yet the WWE is portraying her as a crazy-ass heel. I mean, Sled Daddy, Jeff Schiegel, of the OTR Central, he said it best. He said they need to stop with this whole AJ is crazy deal, crazy heel, and make her a babyface. People love her as a babyface. Now, Caitlyn, on the other hand, she does get a reaction depending on where they're at, depending on their locations. So Mitch, of the Wrestling Gurus, with all due respect, don't say she doesn't get a reaction, because she does. You know, it's not well, it is partially the WWE's fault, but it's not totally the fault that some divas that have come and gone want to get out of the contracts because they want to explore other options. It's not their fault. It's not really the fault. The fault lies within the fact that they. It's not really the fault. The fault lies within the fact that these women, instead of saying, "Okay, we got this opportunity to be in Playboy. Let's do it. Yay, we're done," and let's pose for Playboy, and like, okay, boom, and then come back. No, when they get a taste of that, they want more. And that's why you constantly see these divas leaving. That's why you saw Maurice leave. And I'm hoping she comes back. That's why you saw Kelly leave. And rumor is she's coming back. Lita, there's rumor she might be back. But the thing is, it's not really the fault. It's not really WWE's fault. I mean, partially it is, but it's not mostly the fault. Most of the fault lies within the divas themselves that, once they get a taste of outside the WWE, they want more. I mean, Stacy Keibler, whether she's coming back or not, she left because she got a taste of the Dancing with the Stars stuff and she wanted more. The fact is, ladies and gentlemen, the Divas division, with the exception of what I've mentioned, is in better shape than it's ever been. Because it's got a future line ready to come, being called up in NXT. It's got somebody that when she gets called up, people are going to want to see go against AJ, and that's Paige. There's no doubt about that. They're going to want to see that. You've got a perennial possible fan favorites in Emma and Charlotte that'll be called up soon, and who knows who else. So the timing couldn't be better for the state of this division, and the timing for this division couldn't be better for them to really shine. You add in what they're doing with Total Divas, and it couldn't be a better time for the Divas division. And like I said, you could tell from Total Divas who they have plans for a major run as a champion, and that's Eva Marie. I'm not saying she'll get a run before this year's out, but mostly look for 2014 to be her year, or at least be her to be one of the divas that 2014 is her year. I guarantee it. I mean, if you want to look at the end of this year and into 2014, but mostly that year, next year, here's who's going to be the big perennial favorites for 2014. Here's who 2014 is going to be the year. Eva Marie, Paige, if you will, Summer Rae, Caitlyn, and AJ. Those are your 5 in which 2014 will be their year. It'll be their year. And Naomi, let's not forget Naomi. There's your top 6 right there. Your top 6. Eva Marie, Paige, AJ, if you will, Caitlyn, AJ. Who else did I say? I'm trying to think. Summer Rae and Naomi. Your top 6 right there are going to be dominating 2014. 2014 is going to be those 6 divas years. I just get this feeling. I just get this strong feeling. Now, unless they really throw us off and say, hey, we're going to bring back Karma, Amazing Kong, now that would be a surprise. Or if, let's say, they want to bring back Isis, that Amazon girl they had in the 3rd season, that old diva season of NXT, or was going to have. It's like, you're kidding me. What a surprise that would be, unless they throw some kind of curveball and do that with one of those two, if not both. Like I said, the 6 divas to look out for next year. I mean, towards the end of this year and into next year. Eva Marie is 1. Caitlyn, AJ, Summer Rae, Paige, and Naomi. Those are your 6 to look out for, in my personal opinion. Now, as far as the future of the WWE itself is concerned, mainly when it comes to the main event scene, The main event scene and the mid-card scene couldn't be in better hands. Mid-card is already pretty much establishing itself of who's going to be down in that area, who's going to be put in that section. Mid-card's already got who they. I guarantee you can already see, as far as I know, you can already see who's going to be stuck in the mid-card going into 2014 unless things change. But you pretty much have a good idea of who is going to be the top mid-card, like the top upper mid-card guy that will be close to the main event but won't be there. So you pretty much have an established of who will be the top mid-card guy, the mid-card guy, and the lower mid-card guy. Those already you pretty much have an idea of who's going to be in those sections. And as far as the main event scene goes, the main event scene for next year, towards the end of this year and into next year, its state in the WWE couldn't be in better hands, as far as I'm concerned. And it's my personal opinion. This two-part video, whatever, two-part, three-part video, whatever it's going to be, hopefully 2 parts, the main event scene couldn't be in better hands. I mean, when you take a look at the WWE Championship picture, they're already planning a run for Daniel Bryan, even if it's a brief run for maybe a few moments before he gets cashed in on by Randy Orton. You pretty much know that. So, you pretty much know Daniel Bryan's going to be in the WWE title picture starting, from now on. He's already in it. He's already got the match. But even after SummerSlam, win or not, he's still going to constantly be in it from here on in. So that's a good thing if you're a Daniel Bryan fan. Same thing with CM Punk. He's going to remain in the WWE title picture for the rest of his career. No doubt about it. Yeah, John Cena's going to be there. I know people kind of a love-hate relationship with him, but he's still got to be there. Randy Orton, of course, as well. So, here's my top 6, if you will. Or actually, my top 5. Here's my top 5 of the people to watch out for when it comes to the WWE Championship picture. And who might get reigns and who's going to challenge. WWE Championship-wise, you're looking at John Cena being in there, of course, CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton, and then the surprise that's really going to get to you, and I think a lot of people will like this, Dolph Ziggler. Right there. Dolph Ziggler is your number 5 guy. And if you want to throw in a wild card, it's going to be a wild card for both. The wild card is Bray Wyatt. So there you go. Your top 5, Cena, Orton, Bryan, Punk, Ziggler. As far as the world title goes, as far as the world championship goes, you're looking at the potential of 5 people being in that main event category as well. And here's how it's going to go. Main event wise, as far as the World Championship goes, very, very simple. Top 5 and wild card. Top 5 for the World Heavyweight title main event scene will be Del Rio, Sheamus, Sandow, Rhodes, and it's not going to be Christian, because Christian will probably already have a reign. This is for the end of the year into next year. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for number 5? You ready for Del Rio, Sheamus, Rhodes, Sandow? Who's going to join him at number 5? You got to ask yourself, who's on a roll right now? Who's getting the big push? Who's really got a lot of support behind him? Allen, because he has that agility and that speed and that size and that power. Exactly. Big E. That's right. Del Rio, Sheamus, Rhodes, Sandow, Big E. Your top 5 world title main eventers. In the wild card, again, just like with the WWE Championship main event scene, Bray Wyatt. Those are your top 5 as far as the world title main event scene goes. You might say to yourself, well, why choose those 5? Because if you don't watch what's going on WWE television, I don't know what's wrong with you guys. But it makes a lot of sense, don't you think? And you added the wild card of Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt's going to be pushed into the main event scene even before this year is out. Whether it's for the world title or the WWE title, it's all depending on how WWE goes with it. But ladies and gentlemen, that is particularly what is in store as far as the state of the WWE is concerned. As far as the state of the WWE is concerned, that is what's going to happen. Again, everything that I've mentioned in part 1 and here in part 2 is my personal opinion. You can take it for what it is. But that's what I feel is the state of the WWE right now for the rest of this year and next year. It's a mixed bag right now. But as time goes on, as we move forward towards the end of this year and into 2014, things are going to get better in the state of the WWE. So that's my opinion on the state of the WWE, where it's at right now and where it's going to be. So let me know what you guys think. Comment below. Take your time in watching both these videos. I'm sorry it was too long, but let me know what you guys think down below. Comment if you like. I'd like to hear from you guys at After the Credits, ATC, OTRS Central, Jeff Shiegel. I want to hear from you, the Wrestling Gurus, Sean's View. I want to hear from you guys. Let me know what you guys think. Video respond down below, and I'll talk to you all later.